First, I want to start out by giving thanks to the sun and the air and I want to give thanks to myself, because maybe this will not be seen by anyone, but hopefully it'll be seen, because I think it's an important part of the journey and the process that I've been on, and example of how much I've procrastinated from doing the work that I need to do or want to do, not only for myself but for others. I lived my life in a way that wasn't in my highest calling. I've been blessed to do a lot of great things, but inside of me, I always felt like a hypocrite. I always felt like a liar. I always felt like I wasn't worthy of the things I was doing, the success I was achieving. I wasn't worthy of my family and of my kids. I wasn't worthy of the talent even that I had been given. And that was lumped into all of these limiting beliefs and this, thing inside my mind that made me think, due to real things, trauma and abandonment and a shitload of pain, that made me think I wasn't worthy. That made me think that I wasn't good enough. That made me think that I couldn't have what I really wanted most, which was joy, which was peace. And even as I started going down that path 5 years ago, and eventually ended up having to be hospitalized for it, I still wasn't sure that that's what I wanted, honestly. I was still betraying myself. I was still not willing to go as deep as I needed to, because going deep is scary. And then even when I decided to go deep as I could go and really listen to myself, I found that there were people and there were systems and there were demons that did not want me to get there. And I allowed the world to stop me from being the highest version of myself that I wanted to be. Beyond even the lies that I was telling myself, just I wanted to feel it. And I didn't know how to feel it. I didn't know how to get myself to the other side. And even as I started to do the work, it was like a game of chutes and ladders. I would find myself sliding back down into this, the abyss of my negative thoughts, which I called the underbelly. And the underbelly was where all my demons lived, all my traumas lived. And even after successes of standing at the NBA All-Star game next to Shaquille O'Neal and Tim Duncan, or, helping, doing voter registration and that helped get Bill Clinton elected, and working on, the campaign for David Dinkins, who was the first black mayor of New York City, and becoming a commissioner of the New York City Commission on Human Rights, and so on and so on and so on, and then working in professional beauty and doing all of this stuff, and still not able to look at myself in the mirror and love myself. And part of what put me down on this journey to want to be a coach is because I remember what that felt like, to look in the mirror and not see something that I loved, not saw something that felt right or authentic, not saw something that I wanted to be proud of or that my kids could be proud of. And each at these stages of trying to separate myself from my past, trying to interrogate and understand my present so that I could live the future that I wanted, I think I realized that I was still stuck because I hadn't fully accepted myself. I hadn't accepted and decided to love myself unconditionally. I hadn't decided to say that in no way those limiting beliefs, that trauma, that any of the things that were holding me back, none of it mattered. The only thing that mattered is my connection to my divine greatness, my connection to my belief, and my connection and ability to want to be able to love myself in all ways, at all times, and be gentle and purposeful with myself, and not be, I decided to make this video outside. It's super noisy, and I don't have a microphone, and all of these things that would be the things that would stop me from wanting to do it, even though this is on my heart right now. And I might not have the courage to do it another time. And I know that there are people out there that were like me. Stuck and scared and confused. And when I was at my lowest point, when I was literally inside the mental institution, being kind of carted in, and in a scene that really looks like one of those movies where you're walking down the halls in the first time, clutching a pillow, and you're scared or you're nervous. This woman named Lorianne came up to me and gave me a hug, and she whispered into my ear, "God is greater than your storm." And that was the greatest gift that anyone has given me, because it did two things. It released me from having to carry the burden of everything that had gotten me in the hospital in the first place. But more importantly, it reminded me that there is something out there that is more powerful than we are, that is more divine than we are, that is more expansive and incredible and vulnerable and beautiful, and it's available to us today. If we look inward, if we surrender and be vulnerable and listen to the whispers, magical things can happen. And I'm not saying that because I'm special. I'm saying that because it's happening to me. It has happened to me. And I would love to be a guide on that journey. And so if you're out there not knowing, not feeling, I'm telling you, you got this. You got this. Peace.